What I love about both those, especially the bullet journal, is it's that combination of creativity but also discipline. So there's a discipline of writing it, but you do it in the most creative way that you want to do it.
But you see, anybody who, that's a key point. If anybody starts to, the reason I'm going to recommend a link that I'm going to recommend is that the guy who came up with this system, it is a very much make a note. You put down tasks that you have to do, tick them off. There's no artistic things in there. It's literally written. Because if you start Googling bullet journaling, you will find people who are brilliant at art, who've drawn the most beautiful things,
and it becomes like you'll an Instagram world
I
thing.
can't do that.
My bullet journal isn't gorgeous.
And to me, I started off going, I can't do that. And actually, over time, I started
yeah.
sticking stickers in it because, like,
I
love stationery. So I was like, okay, I can't draw, but I had to play. See, we had a Tetris competition at work this week. Every month we have a competition, and it might be foosball, table tennis, and everybody in the company plays.
Do they take it really seriously?
No, it's fun. But we have houses at work, like at school,
like at
so we have
Hogwarts.
teams red, yellow, green, and blue, and we're Tetris. So I've put in Tetris, and I've drawn myself a little Tetris game. Wow. So like I don't know. I just
but
use
that was
it for
part
scribbling.
of your life for that time, and you look back and go, "Oh my god, remember Tetris Day?"
When I played Tetris, I was rubbish. I lost my match.
But that's fine because it happened, and you've got, like we say, we were talking about this before because I've been doing a daily vlog, and the same kind of thing. The day will pass, or the month or the year will pass. And you've either recorded it or you haven't. Yeah. And you can look back on it and go, I wish I'd done that. Or go, there's my journal. Do you want to see what I've been up to?
Or sometimes I'll go, somebody will say now, they'll say, oh, when did we go to that restaurant? I'll go, I can tell you exactly when we went to the restaurant.
And I can tell you what I thought about it and felt about it and tell what was good about it.
I can tell you what mood I was in. Because
Absolutely.
There's a brilliant thing. I mean, some of these very creative things you'll find online are actually really good tools. Like, so this is...
Oh, that looks good.
This is a tracker where you've got a square for every single day.
That says 2018 in pixels.
Yeah. So what you do is you create a grid of 365 pixels and you colour in the square as to what mood you were in, your general mood for the day.
You've got a lot.
So mine has been happy, motivated, joyful and productivity. That is my year has been pink.
See, that's amazing because you've got, that is quantifiable data, but it's also created by yourself.
I can see the odd blue day, which is when I was feeling sick, tired, unmotivated or bored.
That's amazing.
But then I can see if a pattern's starting to emerge. It's so satisfying. It's really satisfying.
It looks it.
Like, so I'll give you a link to the original concept. But if you want some of the little tools,
you make it your own.
Yeah, if anybody's interested in it, just contact me.
I want one.
I'm like, basically I did a workshop on it at work, and there's about 6 or 7 people at work now who carry them around religiously.
Yeah.
Because they're brilliant.
They look amazing. Yeah. Fantastic.
But since I got mine stolen, I did think about digitising. So what I do now, though, is the end of every week or month, I photograph the pages into an online...
Yeah.
And then you can add photos, that takes it to a new level. But anyway.
See, I'm going to show my nerdy side. I keep an online journal.
Yes.
It started as a gratitude journal. It's been going for 1.5 years. So every day, 3 things grateful for, daily thoughts, but photos, videos, links. So mine's the digital version, same as that.
Yeah, so gratitude is something that I've incorporated. Mindfulness, I mentioned before. This whole process is mindfulness. If you are writing down something you intend to do, or that you feel, or that you... anything, you are being mindful of that task.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is mindfulness? How, do I have to sit and meditate for hours? No, it's about taking stock for a moment. I mean, I only take 5 minutes to fill this in a day. This is not something...
But
it's time intensive.
Yeah.
It's just I take 5 or 10 minutes where I sit, I intentionally think what tasks I'm going to do that day. I then, plan a basic plan about the structure for the day. I can look and see how I'm doing with my habits, and I'll go, oh, I've not exercised for a couple of days and I need to get 3 in this week. So, it is mindfulness in itself. So I can't rave enough about bullet journaling. And so I've snuck it in as an extra chapter in the book.
Nice.
Because it's not technically, I don't want people to think it's about that.
No, but if you believe in it and you've gotten so much use and value from it, it'd be foolish not to have it in there.
Yeah, I am, bullet journal queen.
I think that needs to be a title of this video, bullet journal queen.
But I did a workshop at work, and because I'm wanting to do more one-to-one coaching, and through the book, hopefully that's going to lead me into doing more of that. I'm doing some life coaching skills courses at the moment, but I want to be able to, I can offer these talks,
of course,
to go out to companies or to organise, groups.
So many people that benefit from that.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And I keep trying to get more men to do it because they all think it's flowery drawing, and it's not. It's just not. Hard facts. It's data, quantifiable data.
Somebody else's bullet journal could be black and white and full of just squares and no colour, and it can be whatever you want.
It can be any notebook. And a notebook and a pen cost you nothing. You don't have to buy an iPad to do it. So
very true.
Yeah, so there you go. So by the end of the book, you should know how to form new habits,
and you'll already
how
be filling
to
in
track
your bullet
them.
journal.
Yeah, because I have recommended the habit trackers because I really think
that's really
getting
good,
that schedule.
Yeah.
And just checking in daily, ticking a box is satisfying anyway, like a task that you've done. I also recommend you stick some very basic things on there as well, though.
Okay.
Stuff that you know you're going to do, because then you feel successful already.
Little wins.
Yeah, marginal gains, little wins.
Yeah.
But like the getting up before a certain time.
Yeah.
I go to work, so I have to. So I'm winning every single day. I'm like, get up
to work
before the time you're supposed to be at work.
Yeah.
Did it. So nailed it. Yeah. And then once you've had 3 successes in the day, you're like, oh, I can fill the rest of them in.
That's actually good, because it does actually build your confidence.
It does, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So Helen, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been amazing. I'm going to get me bullet journal, one of these.
This Hello Kitty cover, I made that myself. So if you want one in any specific design, the Avengers or whatever.
Requests?
Yeah, do requests. Yeah, because I'm the sort of person who used to get bored of notebooks. Like I got bored of looking at the cover,
there, isn't it? It's creativity. So coming back to everything that we've talked about, there's been so much. We talked about music, we talked about mental health, but even the fact that we've called it, it's not mental health. We're just talking about people.
It is mental health in the sense of being mentally healthy.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, that's much more positive. And then the book, we've got Me-ology coming out very soon. Look at it, light bulbs, lots of light bulb moments.
You can subscribe on the link below that to a list I'll keep you updated as to when it's coming out. If you're interested, then I'll probably add some extra content and various other things. You know what we need to do?
You need to come back on this show with the book in your hand.
Yes, with the book in my hand.
Signed copy, please. I'll buy it.
Yeah. I'll buy yours as well.
There we go.
Yeah,
we'll do a book swap. We'll do a book swap.
I'll sign it even.
And for people that are watching, that they want to, they like the idea of multi-potentialite, or they like the idea that there can be more than one thing. And we were also saying, take your time. You've got time. Yeah. It's not just one thing for a very short period of time.
Yeah. This concept, this multiple potentialite concept, came from there's a wonderful TED talk by a lady called Emily Wapnick in I think she's in America. Sorry, I'm so sorry if you're in Canada. I always get mixed up. But she came across the term because she felt broken, because she did something with intense passion for 10 years and then switched over to another thing, and then suddenly, and while she was doing that, she was like, oh, I'm going to do a degree in this, and that took her off on another route. And I think society tells us that that's wrong. Yeah. That you can only really have one passion, and you can only really be an expert in one area. And there's a certain amount of truth in that. If you dedicate your entire life to one topic, you are going to get to a certain, maybe a deeper level. But there is no reason that you can't be more than one thing. So I work in IT 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I absolutely love that part of my life. I do software testing at EKM, so that keeps me very occupied. And then in the weekends, I am singing. I'm an opera singer, and I'm performing all over the country.
But that's just as natural to you, as the software stuff. And
I'm making a bit of making money from that. Nice. I then do my photography, which I've specialised in doing headshots. So I've linked that into my singing, because I do headshots for other singers. So
you're taking the bits and putting them together.
And I'm going. They make up a big picture.
Yeah.
So that's again part of this thing is taking lots of little parts and lots of useful things and making a big picture, and that's you at the end of the day. Yeah. And so this multiple potentialite thing was just that, it is okay if you've taken different branches in your life. It makes you a really interesting person. And we were just saying that we are now going to be working until we're in our 70s, likely, if not longer. There may never be a retirement by the time we get there. And
that's a nice thought.
There's no reason why in that time you can't have had 4 or 5, 10-year careers, you know, and done different things. Absolutely. And experienced different. You're bringing yourself new skills that feed with other skills.
Because life kind of does that anyway, doesn't it? It gives you childhood, it gives you adulthood, it gives you older age. So really, like we said before, you're Helen. You were Helen at 5. You'll be Helen at 50. Helen, you'll still be Helen. So it's almost, there is that link. The link is you.
Yeah.
Whether you realise it or not.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's all you've got. Oh, I had a fascinating conversation with my husband once when he told me that I was being selfish, and I just went, "Is there any other way to be? Like, I am the only frame of reference to my entire world. I am the centre of the universe." And I know what he meant was like, you're not considering other people. But at that moment, I just thought, oh my God, I am the centre of the universe.
To you,
and how can you be the centre of the universe if you don't know who you are? I mean, or you don't know what
it's like almost like a
force
is acting on you, you don't know what that is.
No. If you know what your values are, then you know what frame of reference you are actually viewing the world through. Yeah,
but it's not like we said before, it's not just knowing what they are, it's living them.
Living them.
So if you know you're all about joy, you'll be living the joy.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing with being multi-potentialite and having lots of different interests and passions and things that make up me, like my job as a software tester isn't necessarily joyful. It doesn't have, not everything has to be these things, but they all fulfill different sides of you. So my software testing job forces me to focus and
you need that.
And because I have a tendency towards monkey mind, you know.
Yeah,
but
everybody does.
I have to focus on that. So it's actually feeding apart.
Yeah,
because I mean, we find these strengths about ourselves, but it's important to look at your weaknesses and then know that you can change those. You can get better at them. You might never be. I'm never going to be like a deep thinker, but
I don't know about that. No, but I know what you mean.
I know.
Then you've got
deep on
strengths
some levels,
and you can raise them, but there will always be
to be aware
of.
And sometimes it's worth working on them, and they could become strengths for all you know.
Absolutely.
Because it was a weakness. I mean, it's like the fitness thing. Yeah. If you're really unfit and then you get into fitness and then suddenly you're like, oh my God, I can do this, and then you're a gym nerd all of a sudden.
Like, somebody's looking at you going, but you've always been fit. No. And so somebody looking at you now, be like, oh, she's so interested, she's this, and you think, well, actually, I've come from here. Yeah. So everybody actually has that potential to go from somewhere to somewhere else.
Yeah, and so if you are one of those people who feels like you've done loads of jobs and everybody else has gone, oh, I've done the same thing for 15 years, that's okay. It's totally all right to be that. In fact, I hate saying this, but Emily mentions it in her talk, which is fascinating. But the word and the thought has always been around. It was applied to like big thinkers and things, as in Renaissance man, or terms such as that, which were like people who had specializations in many areas, like Leonardo da Vinci. Yeah. He was an inventor, he was a philosopher, he was, medical research. It's just, there's no reason why you can't do all of those things. You have to compartmentalize them. Yeah. And with a bullet journal, compartmentalize them, but it'll force you to schedule more. But you can do it. You can do it all.
Because it's quite natural anyway.
So my husband doesn't see me at weekends very often because I'll be like, oh, I'm singing this weekend, or I'm doing a photography shoot, but they're feeding me,
and he knows that.
Yeah, and ultimately, it makes me a happier person to be with. Therefore, I am a better wife.
Everybody benefits.
Well.
Well, Helen, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure, honestly. We could sit here all night. And thank you so much. Best luck with the book. I can't wait till you come back on here, and you can hold mine, I'll hold yours, and we'll sign each other. It'll be very exciting.
That is exciting.
And people can click on the link below to check out your progress and see how the book's going, because that's an exciting journey as well.
It is an exciting journey. I'm excited and scared because I'm not a writer. I don't consider myself really.
I've said this, but a writer writes. You are a writer.
I haven't quite absorbed that because I know that there are better people.
You've got a bullet journal. You've got a bullet journal and a book in the offing.
But I'm going to communicate something, and that's that's my purpose, to communicate.
Exactly. All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Helen.
No, thank you.
Thanks you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.